Davina is our next up. She's going to talk about the ironies of job hunting with a nod to nanny issues. They kind of go hand in hand. And I got to read her bio because it's hilarious. When Davina Tauber became a mom, she never expected that she'd someday find herself in public restrooms with a son who was terrified of toilets and regularly yells, "Mama, hold my penis so I can cover my ears." To which she responds, "No, you hold your penis and I'll cover your ears." Please welcome to the stage Davina Tauber.
That's good. Yeah, we have this stance, right? So he's peeing and I'm like this. So I'm not nearly coordinated enough to do this with the microphone in my hand like everybody else. So my first confession is that this is my first time doing this. This one is going out to my mom. It's her birthday tonight, so I wish she could be here. Hopefully she'll see it on YouTube if it's not a complete disaster. I have to say, though, that I am a trained English professor, and I figured you guys would not be as hostile an audience as a room full of freshmen in a required writing course. Not to mention, you always hear, like, on The Sopranos, they're saying, like, I'm a stand-up kind of guy. He's a stand-up kind of guy. I thought, yeah, I'm a stand-up kind of guy. So why not? The other thing I have to confess is that I don't have a nanny. But as a designated English professor, I brought some required reading. So this is called Searching for Mary Poppins, which should be subtitled Famous People Bitch About Their Nannies. But it's really subtitled Women Write About the Intense Relationships Between Mothers and Nannies. So there'll be a quiz after the show. The irony about nannies, of course, is that if I looked after somebody's kids, I would get paid, and if they looked after my kids, they'd get paid. Which raises a question of why we're not all just swapping kids all the time. Because then we wouldn't end up with those little scary zeros on our Social Security statements if we take care of our own kids, right? I just got one of those in the mail recently, and I read the fine print, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it said something like, based on your previous earnings, we think you should start stockpiling cat food for your old age. I mean, this is an important question. How do you value caretaking labor in an economy that defines work as something that you do outside the home in exchange for a few hours of peace and quiet and some money? Right? One economist suggested we come up with a measure of something called the gross household product. And I like this idea, but I don't know about you, my household product is way too gross to be measured. But I want to tell you how I decided to go on sabbatical. I've been teaching college for 6 years if you count graduate school, and in academia, the 7th year is traditionally a sabbatical year, as in on the 7th day God rested. Only academics don't rest. They publish frantically lest they perish. But this year I haven't been able to line up enough teaching to keep body and soul even in, conversation with each other. So I've applied for a very special government-funded sabbatical program, extremely popular this year with academics, social workers. Amazingly, corporate types are even trying to get in on the action. The problem with this program is that the funding cycle is very short. You have to apply every week. I was hoping some of you would get that. The irony is that they automatically deny you if you're an educator on the well-founded presumption that teachers sit around all summer eating bonbons. I know I do. When I made the sabbatical joke to my therapist, she said something totally unhelpful, like, I think you should take a break from job hunting. Obviously, I had to dismiss the idea. It was totally counterproductive. I mean, it was un-American. Also, what if the job that I don't apply for is the one that I would have gotten? It's like the Schrodinger's hat of job hunting. And I based my job hunting philosophy on the old joke about the guy who prays so hard to win the lottery that God finally looks at him and says, okay, but would you buy a ticket already?